Captain Insano shows no mercy.
Straight cash, homie.
Hold on to your butts.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Basement Monsters Game Day Podcast. I'm Ivan Vargas. That's Luke Nettles. It is a good one. I mean, I'll say it's a good one, even though Buffalo is kind of separating themselves. It's been a little chippy. It's been fun to watch. Buffalo up 17-7 over the San Francisco 49ers. And, you know, give Mullins credit. He's doing all he can. Give that running game credit. They're doing all they can. Buffalo, for me, just seems that like they want to give the ball away.
Yeah, this is exactly what what we were talking about during the Steelers game when I told you, you're going to see exactly who Buffalo is.
Right.
It's these are the things they need to shore up. They the great thing about them, Beasley's involved underneath, 5 to 10, 15 yards down the field. Diggs is involved. They've to me, Buffalo's whole future revolves around that running back spot. They've got to do something. I mean, Singletary, he's had a couple, Zach Moss a couple, but I mean, like they need a dominant back. I'll tell you what, I think he personally would thrive in Buffalo. I'd be talking to Kansas City about Darrell Williams. Darrell Williams is a under the radar guy. I'm not saying he's your workhorse, but he's bigger than Singletary. He can run between the tackles. You could use Devin out to the side, pass catching, all that good stuff. But I think that's Buffalo's main point of focus they need to address is the running back. Because you got Diggs, you've got Dawson Knox, my boy. He's coming up huge today.
We got to touch him.
Yeah, so I mean, like I feel like they're maybe one receiver and one. They need a bigger back there. Somebody better than Moss. But once they get that, I feel like they're going to go full bore. Buffalo's going to win this game, but also you're playing a depleted San Francisco 49ers. So in Arizona.
Right, but these are games that you need to put away. These are games that you need to put away, put them away early, give some guys some rest. Like you shouldn't pussyfoot with this team.
No, they got to be. It's got to be a definite win. Like you have to put a stamp and blow them out. Don't
let the Niners linger. If the Niners linger, they have a shot. They really do. And I wouldn't say maybe Darrell Williams per se, maybe not exactly Darrell Williams, but in the draft, you need to address it. You need to find a back like that can run between the tackles, that can allow you to drag out the drive, allow you to eat that clock, so you can you can give your defense a rest. Your defense is not your best unit. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not your best unit. They're not horrible, but they're not your best unit. So you have to do whatever you can to help them, and by any means. When you're on, as far as the offense goes, since that is your top unit. But
right,
me, you have to address that. Like you said, you have to address running back if you're the Buffalo Bills in the draft, or free whatever you find. Like I prefer the draft because you're a young team. You want to go get a young running back, somebody that could be there for some years. But it needs to be done this offseason because you have a team right now. I'm telling you, dude. And kudos.
They're on the brink. They're on the brink.
Hey, shout out to Cole Beasley.
Yeah.
Look, Dallas. He started out with Dallas, and I was like, who is this Wes Welker wannabe? And the guy's I don't even compare him to Wes Welker anymore. He's Cole Beasley. Cole Beasley is the silent killer. The silent killer. 7 receptions, 113 yards, 1 touchdown off 7 targets. 7 targets, 7 for 7. Cole Beasley's just torching him.
Yeah, no, I mean, like Cole Beasley. I mean, I always thought like when he was on Dallas, I don't know. Every time I watch the Dallas game, it's like, dude, they're not using this guy right.
Right.
Like this guy could set up everything. He could set up the deep passing game. He could set up the run. You drag him across, let him, back those linebackers up enough where they have to respect Cole Beasley dragging across, and then hit him with the run game underneath that. Because when you got the linebackers going back to account for Cole Beasley, they're obviously not in your run lanes. So then you can run the ball right up in there. The only reason I say Darrell Williams for the Buffalo Bills is because I feel like they could get him cheap. They could still draft the guy. They could still let him develop. They still have Singletary, and at that point you work a young guy in, but you still have a workhorse like Darrell Williams. And then they could address, obviously, with the rest of their draft picks, they could go ahead and address the rest of that defense.
Yeah, and that would be the next thing is make sure you address that defense. Make sure and where they should start is definitely, I mean, this is kind of where everybody should start. Up front. You start up front. Find you another pass rusher. Find you another guy that's young and hungry and that can get after it. On top of that, like other than that, like find you a linebacker, maybe that you could put in the middle, maybe somebody that can move, somebody that can roam sideline to sideline, and boom, you're off and running. For Buffalo right now, pedal to the metal. Don't stop. If you're the Buffalo Bills, do not stop what you're doing. But I'll say this because we watched that Buffalo Texans, Buffalo Houston game last year. And the biggest thing, the biggest caveat for that Buffalo team that was up 24-0 was the football protection. They couldn't football. Josh Allen threw an interception, had a huge fumble. There was just too many mistakes, and I'm still seeing too many mistakes from Josh Allen. If he wants to go ahead and lead this team to the playoff, at the very least, an NFC Championship game, ball protection is a must. Like he had the fumble that led to the touchdown. Other than that, they're pitching a donut. They're shooting a donut right now.
Yeah, I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, nobody's questioning Josh Allen's heart. Everybody knows he has it. It's almost like he has too much heart. Like he gets outside, he wants to run, he wants to throw, and he wants to make that. He's trying to make that play. But he needs to also learn that, like, there's a time and a place to, dump it, live to see another down, and let's regroup and come at him with something else.
He's got some Favre in him.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe a little too much.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think I think Buffalo's going to be all right. I think they might make the playoffs, but like I said, what we're talking about right now, his mistakes are going to be the thing that cost him. And I think sometimes his mistakes come from not having guys that compliment him. Obviously Diggs is going to be running down the field, so there's no coming back to the ball with that. Beasley's the underneath guy. I feel like they need one more guy, one more receiver. Somebody else that can, kind of like a complimentary receiver, like let's say like a AJ Brown, Corey Davis type of thing.
Right.
Stefon's going to be the guy, but you need maybe an Allen Robinson. How about that? So there's options for them, but obviously those aren't going to pan out until next year. But I think Buffalo is probably a good draft away from being a really relevant team.
Right. If Chicago's smart, they franchise Allen and they go ahead and ship his ass to Buffalo or to a team like that that's ready to go. To Green Bay. Because if you let Allen walk, if you let Allen Robinson walk, like I think you're doing a huge detriment to your team.
Oh man.
I got a sick feeling that he's gonna go straight up north to Green Bay to try to play with Aaron Rodgers. Because Allen's a playmaker. And honestly, to have Devontae Adams and Allen Robinson on either side, like pick your fucking poison. If you're
that's a quarterback's dream.
Yeah. So for me, they got to go ahead and franchise tag Allen Robinson and then ship his ass somewhere else because he's gonna want to get back at this franchise for not extending him when he wanted to.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like I said, I think that's just, that's just it with Buffalo. I mean, the 49ers, there's not much to talk about with the 49ers. Everybody knows what the 49ers deal is. Nobody can take the field. It's just that simple. Their guys just can't play right now. The 49ers are going to be just fine. They're still going to give, problems to the West, whether it be the Rams, the Seahawks, or Arizona where they're playing today, which kind of screwed me up. I walked out and looked at the TV. I'm like, why? Wait, what game is this? Like, why does it say Arizona in the end zone? Like, you couldn't paint it just for one day? Like, come on. But yeah, I mean, I feel like Buffalo is about 2 pieces away. And that's just their offense. I mean, their defense needs to definitely come along. But if I feel like if Josh Allen had more talent at the receiver positions, you wouldn't see these run and try to scramble and make the crazy throws. He would have, okay, boom, there's my first read done. Okay, let me check my second guy. Bam, there it is. I think it would make him more of a pocket guy and stop him. I mean, obviously the pass rush is always going to be there, so you're going to have to maneuver around that. But if he had a progression that he could go through with Diggs and maybe another solid number 2 receiver, I think you'd see Josh Allen make a lot more plays.
Right, and like I said, it's all about what they want to do with this offseason. I think that a guy like Allen Robinson is a must. You have a Stephon Diggs. You need another guy. You need at least one more at that wideout position, and then you go ahead and you draft, like we said, you draft running back and you draft defense. And Buffalo Bills will be in good shape come next year. All right, guys, you know what? We're going to go ahead, and before we go run into the second half of this Buffalo San Francisco game, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. We'll get back to you guys in the post of that game. Until then, I'm Ivan Vargas. That's Luke. There you go. That's Luke Nettles.
Camera's opposite, bud.
This podcast on Sports Zone Chicago.
Captain Insano shows no mercy.
Straight cash, homie.
Hold on to your butts.